Hello, Alex Tsushiyama back again with the next 5 battles from the Pokemon Global Link 2013 Winter Friendly Tournament. These are battles 51 through 55. Yeah, I'm sorry that it's taken so long to get these done. I have one more video, 5 battles to upload after this. And after that it'll be the videos from the March 2013 tournament that just finished today. So anyway, on to the first battle. This one I don't actually remember too much about. Kinda thought it was odd he was using a Genesect along with, you know, not super overpowered stuff. Anyway, Genesect's download raises his attack because Espeon has lower special defense. I try to predict him switching to something that's not Genesect, so I go for the Grass Knot. He doesn't, but then he uses Techno Blast for no good reason. Like, at all. Which makes me think this guy didn't know what he was doing. I think that whatever I was gonna do missed with, or whatever I was gonna do with Sizzle. No, I used Superpower. That's why I did go first. Whatever. Superpower almost faints Genesect. I go back to Espeon, go for the Psyshock. Despite the resistance, it does enough damage to faint Genesect. And yeah. His next Pokemon is a Gliscor. So rotates to his Torterra. I went for the Psyshock. It's gonna do a decent amount, but Earthquake is not gonna be good for Espeon. Espeon faints, obviously, forcing me to go into Staraptor, and it's Intimidate. Intimidate goes off, reduces the effectiveness of the Torterra. Go for the return. Finishes it off from that range. Auto rotates to Poliwrath. I go for the Brave Bird because he doesn't rotate for some reason. Takes it down in one shot. It was a critical, but I'm not entirely sure that mattered. And his last Pokemon is a Gliscor. Go for the return. Mostly because Brave Bird's not going to be super effective, and I don't want to sacrifice some Staraptor's HP. It goes for the Guillotine and misses, which is good. But anyway, second return knocked it down, and I win the first match of this video, or first round of this video. So, not entirely sure that guy knew what he was doing, especially with the Genesect. But, it wasn't too bad of a battle. On to battle number 2. This is just, yeah, don't know if that's a name that means anything at all on YouTube. Just, I don't know. Anyway, he goes with this stuff. I go with my own stuff. Go for the Grass Knot for some reason. He switches to his Garchomp. It does a decent amount for the neutral damage, but Earthquake, I believe, does make short work of Espeon. Yes, it does. Espeon faints, forces me into Staraptor. Get the Intimidate off on the Garchomp, so it'll do slightly less damage. Intimidate is a great ability when strategically used. Anyway, go to Melodic for the Ice Beam. Garchomp uses Fire Fang, I believe, to try to get the burn on Staraptor, but it doesn't work. Actually, no, I go for the Surf. I think I was predicting Heatran coming back in. Anyway, Garchomp is at very little HP. goes for the outrage. I probably should have switched to Scizor there to take the outrage and bullet punch, but it's a critical hit and that faints melodic. So I don't get to do any melodic stalling shenanigans here. Anyway, I do what I should have done in the first place and go for the bullet punch. Faints the Garchomp. And forces him into his Hydreigon, Sazendora, whatever. Anyway, go for the close combat with Staraptor. And it takes Hydreigon out, obviously. But also leaves Staraptor vulnerable, as high power moves are wont to do. Anyway, it's down to 2 versus 2. But he's still got the upper hand with Heatran. I'm not entirely sure if he expected me to switch back to Scizor, or if he's just going for stab, but Flamethrower does faint Staraptor. And because Scizor is locked into Bullet Punch, I'm going to do piss damage before getting Flamethrower. Yeah. So, that's disappointing. I don't think I was expecting the Heatran to be quite that faster than Staraptor, but whatever. Lost that match kind of badly. But on to the third battle of the video. As you can see, I'm going to be up against another Kyogre. I really don't like fighting Kyogres. They're kind of a tier unto themselves, honestly. But this appears to be some sort of Uber's rain team of some sort. Got Kabutops in there, which I believe has Swift Swim. Palkia, because its stab gets boosted by rain, and Kyogre to set up rain just wrecks face. Anyway, Kabutops easily outspeeds Espeon, gets Stone Edge, which just as easily faints Espeon. Honestly. Forces me into Staraptor, which gets the Intimidate off. And you got Kyogre. He auto-rotates back to Kyogre, going for the Thunder, which takes Melodic down to about halfway and would have definitely fainted Staraptor. I go for the Toxic, which doesn't really help all that much, honestly. Rotate the Gengar, go for the Thunderbolt. It does a decent amount, but it Calm Minds up. Meaning that this is probably not a... Well, the fact that it didn't just go 4 Water Spouts and end the match also means that this probably isn't a Water Spout Kyogre, but... Keeps getting hurt by poison. I believe I go for Thunderbolt again, but Palkia outspeeds. And yeah, I go for Thunderbolt again. Palkia's Thunder takes Gengar down pretty far. Thunderbolt gets the Paralysis. He rotates back to Kabutops. Stone Edge is going to faint Gengar, fortunately. And it gets a meaningless critical. Staraptor. Rotate back to Melodic. Take the Stone Edge. Get the Surf, which is rain boosted. Neutral damage. It takes Kabutops almost all the way down. Kind of disappointing. Kyogre switches in, goes for a +1 to Thunder. Melodic faints. Last Pokemon I've got is Staraptor, which I believe is going to be outsped by Kyogre, unfortunately. And Toxic doesn't get a chance to do its work. So, yeah. Oh no, it gets outsped by Stone Edge Kabutops. Whatever. It still gets faint. It still faints in one hit, despite the Kabutops being at -1 attack. So, 2 losses, 1 win so far this video. I never even saw that Ludicolo in the battle. That's disappointing. Well, I'm not entirely sure I've been able to deal with it anyways. Freaking Ludicolo. But, battle number 4, against a bit of a more interesting setup, things I normally wouldn't see around. Dennis. I don't know. Whatever. Standard lineup. This guy goes out with these things. Go for, I believe, the Psyshock, just right off the bat. It does a rather impressive amount of damage to Sawsbuck, but it goes for the Horn Leech, which does an equally impressive amount of damage to Espeon. Staying on Espeon, go for the Psyshock again. And this guy switches into his Emboar, or rotates to his Emboar for some reason. He knows I've got Psyshock. Anyway, it faints. But Life Orb Recoil is not doing Espeon any favors. Rotate to Scizor, go for the U-turn, just to, get out of there. Deal some good damage. Does decent damage to the Electros, if you pronounce that. And Staraptor is the 4th Pokemon I brought along. Get the Intimidate off. It goes for the Thunderbolt. Kind of making me wish Staraptor wasn't the 4th Pokemon I had in reserve. Anyway, Staraptor faints. Which forces me back into Scizor. Rotates to Simipour. It goes for the Surf. I honestly don't know why I wasn't going... Well, okay, Electric resists Steel, so that's why I wasn't going for the Bullet Punch, but... Critical on the Surf faints Scizor, leaving me with just my Espeon and my Melodic. Switch to Espeon, hoping to outspeed. Go for the Psyshock, just because it'll be good damage. Faints the Sawsbuck. Espeon's really, at very low HP. Go for the Psyshock again. And it takes Simipour almost all the way out, but Life Orb Recoil finally finishes taking its toll. Anyway, last Pokemon is a Melodic. Haven't used it yet. Simipour goes for Waterfall. Melodic takes it decently. Go for the Surf. I believe it does faint the Simipour. And this guy's last Pokemon is his very low HP Electros. I've got very bulky Melodic to stand up to it. Go for the Surf again, just get stab damage, and it faints the Electros. And I'm 2-2. 2 wins, 2 losses this video. If you want to know the my full win-loss count from this tournament, it will be in the description. And last battle of the video, against a bunch of dragons and a Heatran. And yeah, don't know, it's I think that this is the same person who was in battle number 52, but I think it's a different cartridge. Or something, anyway. Salamence gets intimidated off on Espeon. I do the obvious thing, rotate to Melodic and get the Ice Beam off, and absorb whatever high damage attack that Salamence has. It takes me down to about... It takes Melodic down to about 50% or less. But Ice Beam finishes off the Salamence. So yeah, Melodic's a good Pokemon. Garchomp comes out. Go to Scizor. Go for the Bullet Punch. Because I know Scizor can take an Outrage. And it obviously does go for the Outrage. It does about a quarter of Scizor's HP. And I've got a solid 3-8 hit KO on the Garchomp if it weren't for the critical hit. Critical hit, Garchomp faints, I'm still sitting at 4 Pokemon. I decide to rotate to Melodic, go for the Ice Beam. Melodic has to take the Draco Meteor. I believe it does not, it survives with minimal HP. Hydreigon has a Wide Herb, so it can go for another full damage Draco Meteor. And I think I was actually predicting him to switch to Heatran, and that's why I did Ice Beam. Anyway, switch back to Scizor because I know Scizor can take a Draco Meteor, and that he's not going to want to switch to Heatran on the thing. But I get predicted, or it doesn't want to use Draco Meteor on such a low HP Melodic. And Flamethrower takes me out. Now I've got Gengar. Espeon's still at full HP basically, but go for the Shadow Ball, just guaranteed damage. And it does enough to faint that Hydreigon. And I've got 3 Pokemon left. Espeon, Gengar, and Melodic. Rotate to Melodic. I believe I was going to recover, but it outspeeds. Melodic faints. I'm left with 2 Pokemon, unfortunately. And it's at this point that I decide to go for broke and use Focus Miss. I think this is probably a Scarf Heatran, simply because it outspeeds Gengar. But, yeah. Focus Miss misses. Flamethrower almost fainted at Gengar. Second Flamethrower does faint Gengar. All I've got left is Espeon. It doesn't have any moves that are capable of even scratching this thing. And Flamethrower gets the burn. Espeon actually tanked the Flamethrower better than Gengar did, actually. But Psyshock does a pitiful amount, and I faint on burn damage. So that was really close. Focus Miss. Also, something that I've learned during the this March tournament that ended today is apparently, despite it saying it has a 70% chance of raising the user's special attack, Charge Beam almost never raises the user's special attack when you need it to. So, yeah. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me if I battled you at all during the course of this tournament. Keep spreading the word. Tell me how I can improve my videos other than using a less terrible recording codec. These are being recorded directly off of save files, but I really don't have the hard drive space to store anything of high quality. So, next 5 battles will be coming up soon, finishing off this series. So, guess I'll see you then. Take care.